Hello, YouTube. The next bit of Old Testament citation in the New, it's not a prophecy, but a little bit of a spiritual lecture given to us by Jesus, and I thought it was worth looking at. There are accounts in Matthew 12, 1 through 8, Mark 2, 23 through 28, and Luke 6, 1 through 5. I'm going to read the passage from the Gospel of Mark. One Sabbath he was going through the cornfields, and as they made their way, his disciples began to pluck heads of grain. The Pharisees said to him, "Look, why are they doing what is not lawful on the Sabbath?" And he said to them, "Have you never read what David did when he and his companions were hungry and in need of food? He entered the house of God when Abiathar was high priest, and ate the bread of the presence, which is not lawful for any but the priests to eat, and he gave some to his companions." Then he said to them, "The Sabbath was made for humankind, and not humankind for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath." The story that he's referring to is in 1 Samuel 21, verses 1 through 6. David came to Nob to the priest Ahimelech. Ahimelech came trembling to meet David and said to him, "Why are you alone and no one with you?" David said to the priest Ahimelech, "The king has charged me with a matter, and said to me, 'No one must know anything of the matter about which I send you and with which I have charged you. I have made an appointment with the young men for such and such a place. Now then, what have you at hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread or whatever is here.' The priest answered David, 'I have no ordinary bread at hand, only holy bread, provided that the young men have kept themselves from women.' David answered the priest, 'Indeed, women have been kept from us as always when I go on an expedition. The vessels of the young men are holy even when it is a common journey. How much more today will their vessels be holy?' So the priest gave him the holy bread, for there was no bread there except the bread of the presence, which is removed from before the Lord to be replaced by hot bread on the day it is taken away." Okay, a few different issues here. The first issue is that the Mark passage refers to Abiathar being the high priest, while the passage in 1 Samuel says Ahimelech is the high priest. The Septuagint translation mentions Abimelech, so the names don't follow. Get off of my desk, cat. Excuse me. Go up there. Okay. Second objection. Jesus refers to David and his companions were hungry, and that David gave some of the holy bread to his companions. The account in 1 Samuel, David invents the meeting with these young men in order to get Ahimelech to give him the holy bread. There is no account in later chapters of 2 Samuel that he gave the holy bread to anyone else. And the third objection here is I fail to see the line of reasoning being given here. Now, Jesus is saying that because Abiathar gave him this holy bread, and it probably used this example because the holy bread was to be replaced on the Sabbath day. Although there's no indication in the Samuel passage that this occurred on the Sabbath day when the bread was going to be replaced. But based on that, an extrapolation is made that, we can break the rules and perform work on the Sabbath just because we're hungry. Now, that line of reasoning is entirely baseless. There's nothing in the Samuel passage which gives support for that argument. Not only because we have no confirmation that what happened was on the Sabbath, but it was also David wasn't performing any work. He asked the priest to give him some bread, and he gave it to him. So I fail to see how the Torah breaking practice in these Gospels is supported by 1 Samuel in the slightest.